जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय।
फिर से गा सकते क्या? जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन जय व्रजनरंजन जय जय यशोदानंदन जय व्रजनरंजन जय जमुना तीर वनचारी जमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Jai Jagannath Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhans Parivrajakacarya Ashtotter Satsrimat His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Shri Shri Radha Govindev Bhagwan Ki Jai Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Bhagwan Ki Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। श्रीमद् भागवतम, this is 10th canto, chapter 7 and shlok text number 26. त्रिनावर्ता शान्तरयो वात्यारूपधरो हरन् कृष्णं नभो गतो गन्तुं नाशाक्नोद्भुरिभारभृत् तृणावर्तः शान्तरयो वात्यारूपधरो हरन् कृष्णं नभो गतो गन्तुं नाशाक्नोद्भुरिभारभृत् तृणावर्तः शान्तरयो वात्यारूपधरो हरन् कृष्णं नभो गतो गन्तुं नाशाक्नोद्भुरिभारभृत्। Please recite. तृणावर्तान्तरयो भारत्यारूपधरो हरन् कृष्णं नभो गतो हन्तुं नाशाक्नोद्भुरिभारभृत् तृणावर्ता शान्तरयो वात्यारूपधरो हरन् कृष्णं नभो गतो गन्तुं नाशाक्नोद्भुरिभारभृत् तृणावर्ता शान्तरयो वात्यारूपधरो हरन् कृष्णं नभो गतो गन्तुं नाशाक्नोद्भुरिभारभृत् तृणावर्तः शान्तरयो वात्यारूपधरो हरन् कृष्णं नभो गतो गन्तुं नाशाक्नोद्भुरिभारभृत्। माता जी। तृणावर्ता शान्तरयो वात्यारूपधरो हरन् कृष्णं नभो गतो गन्तुं नाशाक्नोद्भुरिभारभृत्। Word meanings. Trinavartah, the demon Trinavrat. Shantraya. The force of the blast reduced. Vatya Rupadharaha, who had assumed the form of a forceful whirlwind. Haran, and had thus taken away. Krishnam, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nabha Gata, went up to the top of the sky. Gantum, to go further. Na Ashakno, was not able. Bhuri Bharabhrit, because Krishna then became very powerful, then became more powerful and heavy than the demon. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: having assumed the form of a forceful whirlwind, the demon Trinavrata took Krishna very high in the sky. But when Krishna became heavier than the demon had to stop his force and could go no further. Jai Shri Shri Radha Govind Dev Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Sudama, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Purport: here is a competition in yogic power between Krishna and Trinavartasura. By practicing mystic yoga, asuras generally attain some perfection in the 8 siddhis or perfections, namely Anima, Laghima, Mahima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishitva, Vasitva, Kamavasaita. But although a demon may acquire such powers to a very limited extent, he cannot compete with the mystic power of Krishna, for Krishna is Yogeshwara, the source of all mystic power. Yatra Yogeshwaro Harihi, no one can compete with Krishna. Sometimes, of course, having acquired a fragmental portion of Krishna's mystic power, asuras demonstrate their power to the foolish public and assert themselves to be God, not knowing that God is the supreme Yogeshwara. Here also we see that Trinavarta assumed the Mahima Siddhi and took Krishna away as if Krishna were an ordinary child. But Krishna also became a mystic Mahima Siddhi. When Mother Yashoda was carrying him, he became so heavy that his mother, who was usually accustomed to carrying him, could not bear him and had to place him down on the ground. Thus Trinavarta had been able to take Krishna away in the presence of Mother Yashoda. But when Krishna, high in the sky, assumed the Mahima Siddhi, the demon, unable to go further, was obliged to stop his force and come down according to Krishna's desire. One should not, therefore, compete with Krishna's mystic power. Devotees automatically have all mystic power, but they do not like to compete with Krishna. Instead, they fully surrender to Krishna, and their yogic power is demonstrated by Krishna's mercy. Devotees can show mystic yoga so powerful that a demon could not even dream of it, but they never try to demonstrate it for their personal sense gratification. Whatever they do is for the service of the Lord, and therefore they are always in a position superior to that of the demons. There are many karmis, yogis, jnanis who artificially try to compete with Krishna. And thus ordinary foolish people who do not care to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from authorities consider some rascal yogi to be Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the present moment, there are many so-called Babas who present themselves as incarnation of God by showing some insignificant mystic wonder, and foolish people regard them as God because of lacking knowledge of Krishna. Omagyantimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणासिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I'd like to welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class, and also would like to take blessings from all the devotees so that I can speak on this spotless Puran a little to according to my capacity and try to serve the Vaishnavas. As is the context going on, we are in the 10th canto, 7th chapter, and Krishna is in Gokul. He took birth in Mathura. He was transported according to his bill, employed by Yogmaya, by Vasudevji. Vasudevji did that. And it was the will of Krishna. Krishna wanted to go in Gokul. And in Gokul, he had his foster mother, father, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maya. Yashoda Maya did not know that Krishna is born to her. She actually lost her consciousness during the birth of the child. Actually, she had a son and a daughter. The daughter went to Mathura and she disappeared and appeared in many other places. And one that came from Vasudevji, he merged with the one that was there in Vrindavan, born to Yashodamaya, and known as Nandandan Krishna. So these two merged, and then the asuras started coming. Kansa was sending many asuras, the first one being Putna. And Putna came, she assumed the form of a beautiful woman. So asuras can do this, mystic. They are very powerful. They have some mystic powers. They can do many wonderful things. They can manipulate matter, change. They can change matter. We have a form. We are not able to manipulate. We are not able to change our form. And even if it changes in a long duration of time according to the forces of material nature. But asuras, they can manipulate the material nature. They get some power by doing performance of mystic yoga. They get some power. There are different yogas. Accordingly, one can do some changes. Yoga enables. These days, Srila Prabhupada would compare that this is also something, the capabilities of human being, like someone can fly. Here in this example, Trinavrata, who came after the cart demon, there was one more demon in between who got liberated by the kick of Krishna. And then there was this demon who came, Trinavrata. Cart demon could also change his form in the form of a cart. And this Trinavrata, he could change his form in the form of a whirlwind. He could change in the form of the wind, air. Many demons were coming and they were able to change like this. The first one we saw like Putna. There was Bhyomasur. His form was made of ether. The asuras can change their form. So many, they have this kind of power. So, Srila Prabhupada once told, someone has the capacity to fly in the air. And modern man has also got some capacity to make an instrument fly in the air. And many people are sitting in that instrument. That is airplane. Many people are sitting and the fly carrier is carrying them in the sky. Now this is the capacity. This is one kind of mystic yoga. One kind of ability to manipulate matter in such a way that wonderful things can be achieved. On our own, we cannot fly. We can only do like this. But when we invent something and discover some laws of material nature and utilize them, using physics, understanding the laws of nature, and manipulate them in certain ways, and then one can fly. Using an instrument, one can do that. The words are made in such a way. In the nature, there is arrangement. How there is a certain arrangement of nature. We cannot fly, but we see the birds can fly. The body is made of the same soil, same different kind of thing. But the arrangement is made in such a way that the laws, the principles, the laws of material nature that can be utilized and wonderful things can be achieved. That is already happening in the nature. We see the birds can fly. They have such bones, halo. Some special arrangements are there, and it can be done like that. So already these things exist in the material nature. In one lecture, Srila Prabhupada told, previously man could not go through the water. Through the water, one could. So previously, some people were quite capable. They would become capable of walking on the water. They would go in the Himalayas, perform yoga. These yogas come in different name. There is Hatha yoga. There is some thing called as Hatha yoga. Some manipulation is done in that also. You utilize your body and change. And there is Ashtanga yoga. You regulate, connect to the prana, then connect to the mind, then attain samadhi. So this is Ashtanga yoga, the other system. So performance of yoga would give additional power. There is something, by doing Hatha yoga, you would arise your Kundalini Shaktiya. Special energy powers are there within our body. The human body is very capable, very powerful. What can be achieved is very wonderful through this human body. Not only the mind is very capable, intelligence is also very capable, but also there are many inside arrangements in the body through which one can become very powerful. It is possible. So previously, these days people are not capable to do yoga, but previously people were able to do that. People were able to increase their age also. They would stop their breath. how much we live is according to the calculation of number of breaths. So by performance of yoga, the breath will calm down. You would take less breath, and when one does yoga, then becomes young and energetic and powerful, and the life elongates. All these things happen with the same body. The body is not changing. With the same body, some manipulations are done, and then things become different. It is possible by the performance of yoga. Now, different yogas are there. So, people. So, I was telling that people could cross by walking over the river. One person went and did performance of mystic yoga, and he came back after 12 years, and then he showed to the people in general, and he could walk over the river, and everyone was so surprised. Everyone was so. But then some people told, "What wonderful you have done. We cross over the river by going on the boat and spending only 25 paisa. And for crossing the river, you have done 12 years you have spent and performed austerities and attained such power. Then you are crossing over the river. And you have spent 12 years to attain such kind of facility. But we have some arrangement. Boat comes and it has been made in a certain way and it floats over the river, and we could. And when Englishmen came, they made certain arrangements over the water. They made big bridges over the water, and the Indians were so surprised and so astonished and captivated. Oh, क्या पुल बनाया साहब ने? Prabhupada tells like that. साहब ने क्या पुल बनाया? There is nothing in between. It is the story of Kolkata, modern day Kolkata. So it is story. There is nothing in between. The bridge does not stand on some pillars. It is hung from this side of the river to that side of the river. It is so amazing, and people were so captivated by the intelligence and capacity of the Englishmen. They could achieve wonderful things. And they surrendered also, and they were working under the Englishmen because of this kind of arrangements that they could do in India. So Srila Prabhupada tells that this is another display of the capacity that we can manipulate matter in certain ways. We can utilize already existing laws in the material nature and manipulate that. So modern man has achieved many wonderful things like that by carefully studying material nature and inventing different disciplines like physics, electronics, and many other revolutionary things that have come up. So these all are displays of some mysticism. But this has become so normal in today's day that we think it's all natural, it's easy, things are happening. So it goes on the stride. But everything is arranged in such a way that is already very surprising and amazing. The arrangements made by material nature on the hint of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The whole creation is what we see, made up of 5 elements: Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kam, Mana, Buddhir, Eva, Cha. This is the arrangement. And then subtle matters are there: Man, Buddhi, and Ahankar. And all the arrangements are of this. And within this, Krishna has made certain laws according to how it can be manipulated. And wonderful things are happening. The bodies, 84 lakh species are there. Scientists are studying how they are able to make wonderful, by studying already what is existing in the nature. They are studying like that. By studying the birds, they could make airplanes. By studying fish under the water, they would make submarines. And electricity also, there are certain arrangements in the nature in which living body can produce electricity within their body. In the sea, there are certain fish like that. And the modern man is studying a lot of things and taking inspiration from there. And then also, modern man is studying many things mentioned in the Vedas and making tremendous, powerful weapons, Agneyastras, powerful, very powerful weapons targeted. So this is modern story of mysticism. Earlier people were able to do in a different way. They would be able to do yoga and they will attain power from demigods. That's how they would do. The demigods had higher powers and they would worship the demigods and get those powers from the demigods. Like Hiranyakashipu, he worshipped Lord Brahma. And then he became so powerful, so very powerful, that all the demigods would come and pay their obeisances and they would offer their respectful gifts to the demon Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu became so powerful in winter season he would get fruits of the summer season. And material nature would provide. So the demons, in their calculation, they understand that now they are so powerful then that they can control the material nature wholesome. And they become very powerful, more powerful even than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are the super controllers now. No one is beyond. They think they are on the top. That's how material nature makes the demons foolish. Where is the catch? They assume that now they have surpassed material nature. Hiranyakashipu could do some things, many things like that. But what happened? He could not control his own senses. He could not control his own mind. Now the mind and the senses are given by the material nature. And he could not control it. So he was under the control of the material nature. But according to his calculation, because he could control many other things, he would think that I am in control. He is the controller. He will think like that. And when he could not control Prahlad was put before Hiranyakashipu and he was challenging. Hiranyakashipu was trying to kill Prahlad in many ways. But he could not kill. He could not manipulate now. His whole power he was investing. He could not do. He could not kill in any way. And it was so amazing that I could control all the things. I could do anything. But this small boy, I am not able to do. What's happening there? So he was frightened of this small boy. Hiranyakashipu got frightened. And he was doing nothing. He was not offensive in any way. One gets frightened when someone attacks, but because he was not doing anything, he becomes frightened. Someone is protecting him. Who is he? On whose strength he is so peaceful? What's happening? This is how a devotee deals with the material energy. He does not take the ownership of material energy. He knows well that material energy, it suits the Supreme Lord. This material energy is for the utilization and for the service of the Supreme Lord. It's not for my control or my, as Srila Prabhupada speaks in many places, lording over material nature. So we try to externally lord it over the material nature by maybe controlling people, controlling different situations. We may try. But ultimate controller is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in all respects. Ishwaraha Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. He is the cause of the all causes in all circumstances. He is in control. He is the controller and he is in control of all situations all the time. For that matter, for a devotee or for a non-devotee. Devotee also does according to his will, and a non-devotee also does according to his will. No one can surpass his will. No one can frustrate the will and the plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So things are already ordained. Within our framework, we can manipulate in certain way and become happy that we are in control in certain ways. But already things are destined. That's how for Arjuna, what did Lord Krishna tell? Your work is to fight, and things are already destined now. All these warriors, they are already killed. I've already killed them. My plan is already done. They will be killed. You fight or you don't fight. Now it's up to you to take credit to fight according to my plan. Or it would be up to your discredit that you go in a different other way. Anyways, you will fight. Even if you renounce, then also you will fight because that is your nature. Arjuna was a warrior. If he would renounce, then he would go in the jungle and fight and kill animals. But he must fight because he was a warrior. There are certain nature that one has acquired, and one has to do according to that. Must do. Fighting one's own nature, it's very difficult. Even Manishinas, they also cannot go against their nature. It's so difficult proposition, going against the nature. Lord Krishna tells that it's very difficult to go against one's own nature. For one must act according to one's nature, whatever nature one has acquired. And those people who are intelligent Gyanis, they don't impede. They know the nature is very strong, and if one tries to impede, it's of no use, because one is forced to act according to one's nature. What can one do? Only when one becomes a devotee, he releases this artificially acquired nature, conditioned state, and goes beyond the three modes. So that's a very difficult proposal, not so easy. Going beyond the three modes and going beyond one's own nature, one's own mind, intelligence, ego, it's not easy thing. But that is the goal. That's what a devotee does. A devotee does not compete with the Supreme Lord, the owner of the material nature of our mind. Mind is given by the material nature. Intelligence is given by the material nature. Our body is given by the material nature. And we try to use it for our own different, separate intentions, or for different, then we are thieves. That's what Srila Prabhupada tells. Thieves of this small thief, big thief. Once one thief was caught by Alexander the Great. They brought them. And Srila Prabhupada tells this story. He was brought in the courtyard. And then he told that this is a thief. He has stolen many things. Then the thief started to argue that I have stolen this thing, and I have been caught. But you are emperor of this world. You are going to different territories, and you are ruining the territories, ruling the territories, and you are capturing many things, and you are stealing many things from other persons. Are you not a thief? Only difference is I am a small thief, you are a big thief. But both the work is the same, taking properties of other people. So this material energy that has been given to us is for the utilization of the Supreme Lord. Our body, our mind, our intelligence, ego, all has to be utilized for the pleasure, for the benefit, in the service of the Supreme Lord. And when one uses for a different separate purpose, thinking that this is for me, and then he becomes a thief, and thieves will be getting punished. Punishment is to continue their extension of their thievery. They will be punished, and they will be again. If he reforms, then there is chance to go back to Godhead. If one does not reform, And if one does not perform, means one keeps continuing to compete with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, utilizing the power given to him, the abilities given to him. This is on rent. Whatever the abilities and power and different talents we have got, this is on rent, given by the Supreme Lord to us. In the first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, when Lord Krishna, he went, Krishna Swadham Upgate. He went. And then Yudhishthir Maharaj had different visions of misfortune. He saw from the sky, meteors are falling, and his right eye is flickering, and he had different bad omens he was seeing. He had different visions like that. So he asked Arjuna, you went to Dwarka. Do you know what has happened? I think some misfortune has happened. He felt that it's very likely that Krishna has left this material world. He has gone. But Arjuna was not revealing. And then he told later his own story, that I was such a powerful fighter, I could throw weapons like this with both hands. He was Sabyasachi. He could throw the arms, the arrows from the right hand as well as from the left hand, many arrows. At one point of time, when there was one day only, when Arjuna, he vowed that I would kill Jayadratha today only. If not, Samadhi. I am going to die on funeral pyre. Then there was one day, and he had to execute, and the corps was arranged, such a military, their phalanx in such a way. Jayadratha was placed at the end of the military phalanx, at the end. And he had to reach there, he had to kill, and there were many great warriors in between also, and he had to fight. And Krishna was guiding him. And his chariot was celestial, Agnirath. The horses were special. But even those horses, they became very tired. Arjuna was fighting, and there were so many bodies laying over, and the horses were running over the bodies. And performing such after midday, the horses became tired. And being Sarthi, Krishna told, now we have to stop. Krishna told, now my horses cannot go further. I cannot employ them further. I have to think of their benefit. So he asked Arjuna, now you have to make a shade for the horse. You have to fight also, make shade for the horses. And also you have to produce food, green grasses for the horses, and water at the same spot. And you have to fight also. I placed such condition for Arjuna. And Arjuna, being very expert in shooting arrows and achieving wonderful things, he shoot the arrows in the ground, made a good pond at the point, made appear green grass there, made good thatch, and the horses were resting, and Krishna pulled out the horses. He was massaging horses' feet. Arjuna is at risk. People are fighting with Arjuna. He has to do this also and fighting also, and Krishna is massaging horses' feet so that the horses they become energetic again. And Krishna was very happy with the display of mystic power of Arjuna. Krishna wanted that Arjuna display this, his ability. So for the pleasure of Krishna, a devotee can utilize his mystic power. Otherwise, he has no business of utilizing his mystic power. He does not like to compete with Krishna. All these powers belong to Krishna and must be utilized only for him, not for one's own some display of magnificence. No, devotees don't do like that. Devotees like to serve Krishna. They don't want to stand in front of Krishna and show that they don't want to take credit, for credit belongs to Krishna. All these powers have been given by Krishna and for is to be utilized for Krishna. So Arjuna fought like this and Krishna was very happy. And then the horses became very enlivened and they were fighting. And then Krishna, for Arjuna's benefit, what did he do? He made day into night and night into day. Both he did. So this is what Krishna can do for a devotee. If one is dependent on Krishna, and then Krishna can do anything. He can manipulate or change according to his will, for he is Yogeshwara. He can change anything. All these things are within his control. He can do anything and make his devotee stand beyond everything. So this Arjuna, when he was returning, he could achieve wonderful things in the war of Mahabharata. But when he was returning from Dwarka, Krishna is gone, and he was shooting arrows, then the arrows won't go and hit the target. They would fall short and fall. What was happening that he was bringing some queens from Dwarka to Hastinapur, and these queens, they were attacked by some dacoits, and they were trying to abduct those queens, and he was trying to protect those queens, but when he was shooting arrows, and it was not happening. And he was thinking, oh, Krishna is gone and my all powers are also gone. Now I am not able to shoot arrows as I was able to shoot before. But he was not unhappy. For these powers were for the use of Krishna, and now Krishna did not want him to use those powers. And he, being relieved of those powers, he was not unhappy also. He was unhappy that Krishna is not gone. Where is my Krishna? Now he is gone. What's the use of my living now? And the same thing he told Arjuna, he told Yudhishthira Maharaj like that. And Yudhishthira Maharaj also thought, what is the use of now ruling and doing things like that? I have to leave. And then all of them went. So such is the attitude of the devotee. The devotees know that these powers, they are from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the time being, they have been given for the utilization for his service. And if not done in this way, then misutilization would happen. And one would come in the control of the material nature. One would think that he has become beyond. But the reality is that one remains or becomes controlled by the material nature. Krishna bhulya jeev bhogwancha kare nikatastha maya tare jhapatiya dhere. As soon as one forgets Krishna, and when one forgets Krishna, one forgets his own spiritual identity, then one has to surrender to the material energy. So either this way or that way. Krishna is in control. Or we accept direct control by Krishna in his favor, or we accept indirect control, not in his favor. Not in his favor is also his favor only. He makes us the Maya will make us work as per his will only. So it's up to the minute jiva. He is in between. He can choose this or that. So it's up to us. We are in that position. It's up to us to choose. We want to remain in this favor of Krishna or unfavorable, how we do. That can be decided from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. These scriptures are there for our discretion to understand these things. And it is our good fortune that we are studying, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or any comments, if you wish? You can. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Srila Prabhupada.